Hey guys, it's Chris at Highline Guitars and you're watching another Luthier Quick Tips. Today I wanted to revisit a topic which was the subject of a video that I posted last week. And in that video, which was titled, "Stop Doing This," and it's the one where I'm talking about tapping wood. I came to the conclusion after reading a lot of the comments that the point I was trying to make was largely missed or overlooked by quite a few folks. So what I want to do in this video is to revisit that topic, and I want to try to reframe it so the point that I was trying to make is more obvious. And I think it's an important point, especially for those of you who build solid body electric guitars. First of all, I noticed a lot of comments mentioned Paul Reed Smith and PRS guitars. And my video had nothing to do with that. One of the comments mentioned that Paul had done a TED Talk where he walked around on stage tapping blocks of wood. And I've never seen that video, so I really can't comment to it. But my video was definitely not intended to criticize that because, like I said, I haven't seen it. And what inspired the video was a trip to my local lumber supplier. And while I was shopping for wood, I encountered a gentleman who was tapping boards. Specifically, he was tapping these 8-foot tall boards, 8¼ inch thick, maple. And he was tapping them. And I went up to him. I kind of had a suspicion of what he was doing, but I wanted to confirm. So I went up and I asked him, "What is it you're doing?" And he said he was a guitar builder, a luthier. And he was tapping wood, trying to find the most resonant boards so that he could use those for making his guitars. And my response was, "Oh, wow, that's interesting." I said, "What kind of guitars do you build?" And he said, "Electric guitars." And that kind of inspired the idea I had for this video. It wasn't PRS and it wasn't Paul Reed Smith. So let's get that out of the way. Another topic that was appearing quite frequently in the comments was the whole infamous tone wood debate. And my video was not intended to go that direction. In fact, let me clarify my opinion about tone wood. First of all, I firmly believe that the species, and more importantly, the specific board that you're going to use absolutely has an impact on the tone that you can expect from the completed instrument. However, in a solid body electric guitar, that impact is very small. You can hear it, but it's very small, and it can be manipulated, but not in the same way that an acoustic guitar builder can manipulate the wood to affect the tone. And that was the real point of that video. What I was trying to convey is that an acoustic guitar luthier can completely affect or impact or dictate the tone of the finished instrument by how they work with the wood, by how thick they dimension the back and the top, by the placement of the braces, and by how they carve those braces. They can very precisely manipulate what that final instrument is going to sound like. They can do this on a consistent basis so that if they're building the same model guitar, they can get basically the same tone from every one that they produce. Or they can very precisely manipulate it to get the kind of tone and resonance that a specific individual would want from a particular guitar. However, the solid body guitar luthier doesn't have that option. Yeah, you can go into your lumber supplier and tap the wood all you want. But once you've cut, carved, routed, and sanded that guitar body to shape, at that point, you can't do anything about the resonance of the wood. It's done. You can't manipulate it. You can't go in with chisels and remove little bits of wood to try to fine-tune what that tone is going to sound like. It just isn't possible. And that's especially true if you're building like a Stratocaster, Telecaster, Les Paul, SG. You know, if you're doing a clone, once that guitar has been cut, that's what you get. That's what you have to work with. If you want to manipulate the tone and try to change it or fine-tune it, you have to rely and focus on the features of the guitar that you can change, which is, of course, the pickups, the setup, and beyond that, the cable, your effects pedal board, your amp, and your speaker. All those things can be changed to affect the tone of the guitar. I think one of the problems that I've seen over the years is that guys who build electric guitars, I almost want to say there's a little bit of jealousy of those who build acoustic guitars, because they see those guys with their chisels and their planes, their little teeny block planes, carving and shaping in order to manipulate the tone. And they like that. They think that's really cool and they want to be a part of something like that. So they try to carry it over to the construction of a solid body electric guitar. But none of that translates over. And as a result, I think like I said, there's some jealousy in that endeavor. So really, if that's what you want to do, then you should build acoustic instruments, whether it's acoustic guitars or violins, mandolins, whatever, because that's where you can really exercise that skill. But if you're going to be building a solid body electric guitar, you have to replace that skill, that woodworking skill, with the skill of speccing out the right pickup to achieve the kind of tone you want. And that's one of the reasons why I make my own pickups. I learned a long time ago that when you make your own pickups, you can really fine-tune the tone of an instrument. And that's really where the skill, the Luthiery skill, is for the solid body electric guitar builder. It's in the ability to select the right pickup because of its coil, because of its magnet, because of its position on the guitar body, and the space between the poles and the strings. All of that plays a significant role in shaping the tone of the solid body electric guitar. So in the end, you can, if you want to go in and keep tapping the boards, go for it. Knock yourself out. But when it actually comes to fine-tuning that tone, you have to learn how pickup choice is going to affect that. And even more so, and this is something that a lot of folks don't address. A few have, but most don't. Probably the most significant factor in the tone of your electric guitar has nothing to do with the guitar or you as the player. It's the speaker. You can change the speaker and dramatically shift the tone of your instrument. It's amazing what just that little change can do. So keep that in mind. In truth, what you're doing, and the point I was trying to make in that video, is you're trading the skills of thicknessing wood, placing braces, carving braces for selecting the pickups. And if you're going to build a solid body electric guitar, especially if you're going to be building one from scratch, doesn't it make sense that you would want to have control over the tone? I'm really surprised by how many people will build a guitar and will just throw in a set of stock off-the-shelf pickups. you know, whether they're DiMarzio, Seymour Duncan, or whatever, without really knowing how that pickup is going to affect the tone. And if it sounds good, great. If it doesn't, they just want to, you know, keep swapping out pickups until they get the right tone that they're trying to achieve. Well, if you're a good luthier, you're going to learn how to spec the pickups and select the right pickup for that particular guitar before you even start to build it. And that way you come closer to nailing the exact tone that you want. Think of it this way. If you're building guitars for a customer and they've told you what kind of music they like to play and the kind of tone that they like, it's really incumbent upon you to try to build a guitar to that requirement. Well, what happens when you finish the guitar and hand it over to the customer and they play it and they say, yeah, it's a cool looking guitar and everything and it feels really good, but it's a little bright. Is there any way we can darken it up? If you're a knowledgeable luthier, knowledgeable in the art of selecting pickups, you'll know exactly what to do. But if you don't, what are you going to do? Just keep throwing pickups until you get the right tone? It's kind of a silly way to do it. That's one of the reasons why I decided to learn how to make pickups, so that I could dial in the tone by how I make the pickup. And if the pickup, you know, for some reason may not be exactly what the customer wants, I can rewind it. I can wind a new one. I can swap out magnets. I can do the things necessary to get exactly the tone that they want. So I hope that I've explained what that video was about. It's kind of funny. I'm doing a video to explain another video. So anyway, that's the point I was trying to make. Not that wood doesn't have an effect on tone. I think it does. It's just that with solid body electric guitars, it's your pickup selection, it's your setup, it's your cable, it's your amplifier, it's your speaker, it's your playing style. All of that plays a much more important role in determining the tone. It's not like an acoustic guitar. So hopefully this video makes sense. If it does, give me a thumbs up. Comments or questions, please post them down below. That's a lot of times where I get ideas for new videos. And you know, if you don't subscribe to this channel and like videos on building guitars, click that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to show this channel some support because you like what I'm doing here, head over to eguitarplans.com, purchase a plan. And until the next episode, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.